All right, this is your boy Trainami, and this is going to be a pick a cop or drop a which one would you choose type of video. And this is going to be on my Carry Micro Compacts. All right, they're all holstered. They all have their IWVs. So the first runner up is the Shield, Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. It's clear. So this holds a 7, actually an 8+1 and a 9+1 magazine. And this is a +2 base pad, so it's a 7-round magazine with a +2 base pad, so that's 9+1, which altogether this will hold 10. Out of all my concealed carries, this is the flattest shooting one. So it has a little bit more weight to it, but you barely notice it. Upgrades: the Streamlight TRL6, hole grips, Talon grips underneath the hole grips, but I put those on first and then got the hole grips, so I just kept them on. The +2 base pad magazine, colored in the front post sight, Cerakoted the slide. So there was no reason I Cerakoted the slide, just off of looks, aesthetics, and I know it looks good, so there's no doubt in that. So anyways, it's the flattest shooting one, and this is my second concealed carry that I bought. Let me put this. Oh, and the holster is a Toaster holster that matches up with the TRL6, so the retention is in here. These 2 points, that's the retention, and that's on the TRL6 light. Putting this one down. Second one in order is the Ruger Max 9. All right, there's a lot of stories on this one. A lot of, maybe some horror stories you could say, but per se, not really. Slide, I changed the color of the slide to a Cerakoted burnt bronze because of the rusting issue, so that's a downside. And I had to return the whole gun to get the frame fixed because this here takedown tab wouldn't go back up. It stayed down. So, and it also made function of the slide when it's locked back. When it's locked back with the magazine in, you couldn't release it unless you couldn't just like slingshot release it or just release it by pulling it back and letting it go forward. You had to use the slide release. So that was another issue. But once they fixed this, I got it sent in. They fixed it, returned it back to me, and this now works, and it works with with the magazine inserted. I can just pull the slide back and let it go forward. So after all the fixes I've done to it, or had to get done to it, it's now a valuable concealed carry. I do like that it came with a optics cut for the red dot. It has the tritium and night front sight. The back sight's pretty good. It co-witnesses pretty well. This has 12+1 and a 10+1. So a 10-round magazine, and this is the 12-round magazine. So overall, it's a good shooter. This is the second snappiest gun. This is the least snappiest. This is in the middle. The trigger is pretty good. It's not amazing. They do have another trigger that you go buy for it, black or red trigger. I think it's Galloway Precision that has a trigger for it. The texture underneath this is pretty good, but just how snappy it is, I need to have that finger groove in here so I can just have better recoil control over it. And I do like the whole grips that you could get for them. It did not come with it. I had to get the whole grips, and I had to get the Riton Optic red dot. But overall, the pistol was a very inexpensive pistol. So, and I know they were selling for a high price for a while there, and then Palmetto State Armory came out with a crazy deal, and I had to grab it, and had to also fix it up. But now it's a good little EDC. So let me put this over here. Oh, and this holster is a CYA holster, and it's a IWB holster in the waistband. And now the third guy I'm gonna talk on. This is my first pistol that I've ever owned, and this would be a Glock 43 OG. And this, all right, I have multiple magazines for this. They're in the car, but I have a 7 round magazine with a little pinky extension. And on my other videos, you'll see all the magazines I have. So I'm not gonna go over all the magazines, like bring them out here, but I'll talk about them. I also have a Shield Arms Z9 magazine that holds 9 and then 1 in the head, so 10 altogether. Then this is a 10-round magazine, but this is the OG Glock magazine, a Glock 43 magazine with a Strike Industry, or Fab Defense +4 magazine extension. So this is a backup mag pretty much, but I just like how it looks with that magazine inserted. It looks good. But yeah, and though I have 2 of these, 1 Shield Arms magazine that runs good. I've ran tons of rounds through it to make sure it ran good. And there's no hiccups. It's clear. Just have ammo in the magazines. These are my carry pistols, my rotation. So, anyways, so the Z9 magazines do work pretty well. Didn't have any problem with it. All the magazines I have, I run various ammo through it and just run them to make sure that they have a good why am I lost for the word right now? Make sure that they run well, let's just say that, and they're reliable. So this is my first pistol, Gen 4 Glock 43, and I have the whole grip on here. I have the Talon grips underneath, same situation as the Smith. TRL 6 night sights, and an orange front dot up front. And it's not one I colored in. This is the actual, actually from the manufacturer. I believe these are, I don't know who these are from, but anyways, they're night sights. I got a tungsten guide rod for it, but the tungsten guide rod just wouldn't stay in place. It kept sliding down. It was like a defective guide rod. I sent it out. I sent it back to get a refund, and somehow it got lost in the mail, and I'm out $100 and something for it. So for the recoil, I think I will go ahead and buy another tungsten guide rod for it, just to see if that helps, because this gun is very snappy. I know a lot of people can shoot it and control the recoil, but I'd prefer not have to fight with the recoil and just get my shots downrange and at an easier advantage, you know. So anyways, Glock 43, it can hold up to, the magazines that I have hold up to 10, which is this one, and then I have one at the Shield Z9, about right here. That's where it reaches, sticking out of the bottom of the grip is down here, about right here. So this is a very long magazine, but when you hold it, I mean, it sits, your finger sits right in here, so it just like, you just hug that. Then the groove here, then the undercut, and this, you get a really good purchase with it, but it's still crazy snappy, so there's that. So out of all of these, and this is a toaster holster for the Glock 43, and it's made to marry up with the TRL 6. So out of all three of these, what would you cop, what would you drop, what would you carry? I know a lot of guys are all for like certain guns like SIGs, FNs, but I go with the guns I know that won't have any issues. Like the SIG X Macro, gun tuber was saying that his gun just went off because the trigger was like stuck in a weird position and it just went off. No thank you. I wanted to get a SIG P320, and I've heard those go off, so no. I'm good. But anyways, I'm not here to bag on SIG. I'm just here to say the reason I picked my guns is because they're well proven. They're like, there's no issues, and the issues that did ever happen were fixed and figured out. And with these two right here, definitely these two, I know have the best track record out of all of the micro 9s, the Glock 43 and Smith & Wesson MP Shield. This one is also well proven, but don't have as long as a track record as these two. I don't care if my guns seem older, because these are very oldish guns, especially this one. But it's reliable. It's going to shoot every time. There's not going to be any issues with this one or this one. This one I haven't had any issues with really, but the rusting and the frame thing, yeah, you know, I'm still working up to being able to trust this completely. But with that being said, which one would you, out of these, I know you're gonna pick your SIGs or your FNs or whatever guns you want out there, your Walters, but I'm just saying out of right here, you can say zero, you can say none, that's fine. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But out of these three, which ones would you pick? Which one would you cop? Which ones would you drop? You know what I mean? Which ones would you trust with your life? I'll definitely trust the Smith, and I'll definitely trust the Glock, because I've shot them multiple times just through my experience, not just from what I read online or what I hear from other tubers. You know, it's all about what you train with and how it relates to you. Because some people go train with a high point and they can they feel like they can defend their lives with a high point, and then some people could shoot with a staccato and not hit a thing, you know, like, which is kind of hard. But some people, you know, it's all what you train with. Let's say that it's all about what you train with, what you're proficient in or proficient with. But anyways, this is your boy Trinami. This was just I guess what would you pick, cop or drop of which pistol you would go for out of my three. But until next time, peace.